I'm a 34M. My wife is 32F. We've been together for 9 years, married for 6. To everyone else, we were relationship goals. For me, too, until a few months ago. The first cracks came as little jabs and eye rolls when I tried to be affectionate. Then she started criticizing me, saying I lacked ambition, that I was too content with mediocrity. That hurt, but I brushed it off as stress. Then came the late nights at work. First once a week, then almost every night. She'd come home too polished for someone who supposedly just left the office at 11 p.m. I kept swallowing my doubts until I couldn't anymore. One evening, she left her laptop on the counter. A message popped up, "Can't wait to see you again tonight." From someone saved as just E. My chest tightened. I knew I shouldn't snoop, but I opened it. What I found: flirty texts, inside jokes, hotel plans. A whole thread of intimacy I wasn't part of. My world tilted sideways. When she came downstairs, she kissed me on the cheek like nothing was wrong. Smiling, humming. I wanted to explode, but I forced myself into cold silence. If she was lying, I wanted proof carved in stone. Over the next 2 weeks, I became a detective. Checked phone bills. Looked at mileage on her car. Downloaded a tracking app one swore I'd never use. What I found was textbook cheating. Multiple 2-hour lunch breaks at a hotel 15 minutes away. Calls to E at odd hours. And one day, while pretending to work from home, I drove to that hotel. Sure enough, her car was in the lot. I sat in mine, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles ached. She walked out 2 hours later, laughing, hair messy, wearing different clothes than when she left that morning. That's when my love curdled into rage. The universe has a way of throwing grenades. That night, she came home, threw her arms around me and said, "Work was brutal, I need wine." The audacity almost made me laugh. Later, she left her phone charging by the bed. While she showered, another text popped up. "Last night was amazing. Round too soon?" She told me she was working late that night. Lies stacked on lies. I screenshot everything and sent it to myself. I finally had enough. I confronted her the next evening. I waited until she was mid-rant about her long hours, and then slid my phone across the table with the screenshots. Her face went pale, then hardened like stone. "You went through my private stuff? That's controlling and abusive." That's what she went with. No apology, no explanation. Just flipped the script and tried to make me the villain. My hands were shaking, but I asked, "How long?" She sneered, "If you have to ask, maybe you weren't paying enough attention." My heart cracked right there. Over the next few days, her story changed every time. First, it was just texting. Then a couple of times, but it didn't mean anything. Then finally, "Fine, I love him, but I still love you too." Each version was worse than the last. She'd cry, then snap at me for ruining her life. At one point, she even said, "If you were more exciting, I wouldn't have had to look elsewhere." I didn't recognize the woman in front of me. The nights after the confrontation were brutal. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I'd wake up at 3 a.m., replaying her smirk when she admitted it. One moment I was furious, wanting to scream. The next I was hollow and numb. Then came sadness so deep it felt physical, like my chest was caving in. I'd look at our wedding photos and wonder if any of it was ever real. Was she lying even then? Or was I just a fool in love with someone who never existed? The final straw came a week later. I found out she'd still been texting him after we confronted the issue. When I asked why, she said, "I can't just cut him off cold turkey. Don't be unreasonable." That was it. Something inside me died right there. The begging, bargaining, trying to see if we could fix it, gone. I knew I couldn't stay married to someone who treated me like disposable background noise. I called a lawyer the next morning. Filed for separation. When I told her, she scoffed, "Fine. You'll come crawling back once you realize you can't do better." That sentence was like gasoline on my resolve. I packed a bag, moved in with my brother for now, and blocked her on everything except email. I've already started therapy, because I know this poison doesn't just disappear. I'm not naive anymore. Love doesn't excuse betrayal, and trust once shattered doesn't magically glue itself back together. What I've learned is this: don't ignore your gut. Don't let someone gaslight you into thinking your needs, your suspicions, your pain don't matter. If your partner mocks you, lies to you, or makes you feel small, pay attention. Leaving hurts like hell, but staying with someone who sees you as an option will destroy you from the inside. To anyone reading this in a similar spot, you deserve better. Don't settle for someone who treats your heart like a backup plan. When the news broke among our friends, the responses split. Some were shocked and immediately cut her off. Others tried to stay neutral, saying, "It's complicated. Maybe she was just unhappy." That stung. Like people were excusing her choices because she was bored. My closest buddy told me straight, "Man, she disrespected you in every possible way. Don't let her reel you back in." Those words stuck with me. It made me realize how often I'd minimized my own feelings just to keep the peace. Telling our families was a nightmare. My mom cried. My dad just shook his head, silent. Her parents called me not to apologize but to defend her. She made a mistake. Don't throw everything away over one lapse in judgment. A lapse? It wasn't one night. It was a whole double life. That phone call lit me on fire. I finally told them, "I'm done. If she's your daughter first, that's fine. But she's not my wife anymore." Even after deciding to leave, the aftershocks came in waves. I'd see her sweater in the closet and feel sucker punched. I deleted hundreds of photos off my phone one night, bawling like a kid. My therapist said it's like grieving a death, except the person is still alive, just choosing someone else. That explanation helped me stop beating myself up for not getting over it fast enough. Healing isn't linear. A month out, things look a little different. I've started hitting the gym again, something I neglected while trying to hold our marriage together. I reconnected with friends I hadn't seen in years because she never liked them. For the first time in a long while, I'm doing things because I want to, not to win her approval. Some days are still brutal, but others feel light, almost free. That freedom is addictive. Looking back, the biggest lesson I've learned is to value myself. I put her on a pedestal and ignored the red flags because I was afraid of rocking the boat. She weaponized that fear, lying to my face and gaslighting me when I knew the truth. I'll never let anyone shrink me like that again. To anyone scrolling through Reddit at 3 a.m., stomach in knots because you suspect your partner is cheating, trust your gut. You're not crazy, you're not paranoid. You deserve respect and honesty, not breadcrumbs and lies. Leaving her was the hardest decision I've ever made, but also the most important.